name is Chris, and for the Fantom 2023 hackathon, I put together an app called Fantomsign. Now, some of you might be familiar with apps like DocuSign that let you facilitate e-signings of documents in a centralized manner. Now, the problem with that is that you're often stuck paying vendor fees every month, like a subscription, regardless of your actual usage. If DocuSign went down, you wouldn't be able to collect e-signature or potentially access your documents. And you often don't have 100% confidence that even developers aren't messing with the database or the history records of the e-signings and the signatures that are being saved. So I wanted to create an app that actually made it easy for anybody to create e-signature requests without any of those shortcomings. Now, the way this works is you log into the Fantomsign app, and you can see here I'm already connected with my MetaMask account on the Fantom testnet, but it also works with Opera. And you create a new e-signature request. I have some example demo data here, but you could create an e-signature request for any sort of document. In this case, I have a renter's agreement. You upload it, and you specify your signer address. Rather than using an email or a phone number to identify an individual, we use almost pseudo-anonymous addresses. So you would instead say, hey, here's the address of the person that I know somebody owns that I actually want to e-sign this document. Once that's ready, you click Create e-sign request. It's going to do a couple things behind the scenes. Firstly, it uploads the artifacts and the metadata about the e-signature request to IPFS, and so that can't be mutated after the request has been made. Secondly, it deploys a smart contract, and I'll show you a little bit how that works in a second, both to represent the request, and there's a transaction that gets submitted against that when the signature is complete. So when this is done, a few URLs get generated. The metadata, which contains the documents that you uploaded, as well as a fixed record of the original transaction request. The contract itself, and so this is on the testnet, but this app also works on the mainnet. And finally, a URL, which you would share with the user, and they would come in and log in with their MetaMask account to access that e-signing. On the other hand, if the user is not authenticated, it'll show an error saying they need to connect with the intended signer's wallet. If I am the intended signer, in which case I am logged in with that address, you can access the documents. If it checks out, you can accept from the screen as well. So the user can draw a signature, sign it. Very similar process takes place where it issues a transaction against that Fantom smart contract. And the metadata for that signing, as well as an NFT that represents the signature, gets appended to that contract. So you can see here, this first one was the creation, and then this was the actual fulfillment represented as a transaction against that smart contract. Coming back, you can look up any contract and see the data directly from the application. So on the testnet, if you have the address, you can come here and you can see all the transactions from an easier interface right from within the app and get a direct link into the Explorer. As for the code, it's available on my GitHub. I encourage you to check it out, but that's pretty much the Fantomsign project, and thanks for your time.